Hi Vips, welcome back to my channel. For the past months I've been collecting footage of me doing any mending that has popped up, and I thought it could be a potential recurring series on the channel. This is just part of the reality of clothes. Nothing lasts forever and fixing them can expand their lifetime, so enjoy these vignettes of me working on different mending projects. It's mending time! I have a whole pile of mending that I'd like to get through. More than will be included in this video probably, but let's get started with some stuff. Next thing we're going to be working on today is this green skirt I made a few months ago. It was as a test for a pattern, and I think the waistband must have stretched out a bit because it's closed with some loops and buttons, and they don't line up properly on me anymore. So I am going to move the buttons so it fits me again. I've marked out with pins where the buttons need to be moved to, and let's just hope it's correct, I guess. Also, let me remove this thread. Essentially, it's a wrap skirt, so one of the buttons is on the inside of the waistband and one is on the outside. In hindsight, I definitely wish I had lined the waistband. It's a bit flimsy, and I mean, this was just a test. I didn't have enough of the green fabric, so I had to do something matching but contrasting, which isn't my favorite, but I actually wear this skirt a lot, so it's fine. I have my hand sewing kit here. Thread. Some green. This is one of those quick projects I've been meaning to get to for a while, but always seem to have excuses not to do. So I'm glad you could help me get this done. Oh, I found a hole. Well, I haven't worn this skirt a lot since I made it, so I guess that's inevitable. And it's not the sturdiest of fabric. It does flow very nicely. I top stitched the waistband on from the outside, and I don't know, I never seem to be able to catch it all the way around, and this is one of the areas where I definitely, This is one of the areas where I didn't catch it, so I'm just gonna tack it down quickly before I move the button here. Originally I had 2 buttons in each place so that I had some size adjustability, but I just found that I never really took the time to actually change buttons, and it was a bit more hassle than it was actually smart, turned out. The idea was good. Let's try it on, see if it fits. Yeah, that sits a lot smoother than it did before. Beautiful. And then it just wraps around. This is my initial pile for the day. I have a homemade bib that needs a new closure. This button and loop closure never worked very well. It's too loose and it comes undone very easily. So I'm gonna remove the button and the loop and add a snap instead. Got that ready here. I had just mended this skirt not that long ago. I had added this cute little embroidery to hide a hole, and I moved the buttons around, wore it once, put it through the wash, and now I have a hole in the seam. So let's fix that. The fabric tore right next to the seam. It's not a very durable fabric. Probably not the best choice for a skirt I wear this often, but it was just a test project that ended up really good. So I keep on wearing it. To be honest, I should have, of course, opened the hem and done a neater job of this, but let's be real, the best repairs are the ones that you do fast and then you actually wear the garment again, even if it looks a bit janky. Right, 2-minute job, all done. We're going rapid fire here. Let me cut off this loop. I'm going to take the button and then I should get my seam ripper instead. And then we can add the button back to the stash. Hopefully it'll end up somewhere more useful.
You got me acting out. All tenderness is out the window. What you do to me when the cold...
I have a habit of just using whatever color thread is already on the needle. Guess it's a good way to use scraps. Also, mostly I'm just sometimes a bit lazy. Just wanna get going, really.
Blue is straight cruel. Oh, it has to be you leaving writings on the wall. You promised me.
Should probably have changed to a longer thread. I can get really stubborn sometimes and oh, I'm almost done. Can I stretch this thread just a little longer? So stupid. There we go. One functioning bib. These are some of the runners I made for our recent wedding party, and I made them in 2 different lengths for the long tables we were sitting at and for some round tables, but none of the lengths actually fit our current dining table, and I'd really like to be able to reuse these, so I'm gonna cut them down to size and then rehem them. I have it lined up with the end of the tablecloth at the other end of the table, so now I just need to cut all of this excess off and leave enough room for me to hem it. So it ends up approximately the same length. Honestly, I'm just gonna eyeball this.
Hungry haze, but now there's only madness. Got me feeling dusty. Got me feeling dusty. I can't even whisper and it's hard to see. Don't take
I just need to sew that seam. Perfect. I do have a whole lot of fabric left over though, and I made way too many of these runners for the wedding party, so I'm gonna make some smaller runners that can go the width of the table instead of just the length, so I can set pretty tables, I guess. Same thing from a new angle.
me. Please tell me it's a dream. A dream. The worst kind you've ever dreamed.
I do want to make 2 of these short ones, since our dining table is pretty long. It can definitely accommodate more than one sideways runner. For this one, since I've used all of the already finished edges, I left the overhang on the other side longer so I can actually hem it on both ends. And when you know, I still have more fabric. And that was just 1 out of 4 runners of this length. Let me know in the comments if you have any idea what to do with all of this fabric. I actually made 2 sets of runners for all the tables, so let's go get the green ones and cut them down to size. They're gonna match the shorter ones, and then I have long ones that I can cut down for length as well. Do I dare eyeball this? It's a bit wider. I should have done this one first, and then I could hemming and hawing.
Don't make me do it, 'cause I got too much to lose. I got too much to lose. Now lay me in the wilderness to dry a bit to your sweet caress. I can't wait no more. Have died and the last horn lark.
I'm gonna try and not be so lazy and actually change my bobbin foot to white because that matches the fabric better.
Worst kind you've ever dreamed. Oh, I don't wanna lay another night. Don't make me do it, 'cause
Now for the green ones, and I changed my bobbin back again to the green thread, so it'll all match.
I got too much to lose.
Good morning everyone. Today I have a big pile of mending I want to get done, and I'm already annoyed at myself. I've been working on this really pretty shirt for myself, and I'm pretty sure I set the sleeves in the wrong way around. So they have the bishop sleeves with cuffs, and the buttons ended up in a weird position. So I think I must have switched the sleeves around, and I unpicked this a few days ago, and now I can't remember which sleeve went where. So I'm gonna have to try and pin it and see if I can figure out which way around they actually go, so I don't just sew the sleeves back in the wrong place. That would be annoying. Wish me luck. I remember thinking either I'll leave them in the original sleeve opening, arm side, and then I can switch them later, or maybe I already switched them and I cannot remember which. The danger of thinking you'll remember what you thought a couple of days ago when you return to a project. This is why I love lists. My brain is not reliable. Looking at this, the cuff opening ends up on the outside. And I'm pretty sure I wanted to fall on the inside, so I don't think I switched the sleeves around. I'm gonna try it. It's a really lovely viscose fabric, but it snags on my dry fingers a lot, and honestly it's a pain in the butt to work with because it's so slippery. I've definitely have my patience tested here. Also, it shows where I've already sewn, so I'm going to have to increase the seam allowance just a smidge to disguise that I unpicked it. I did try and iron it, and a different spot where I also unpicked, but you could still see the stitching holes. Maybe I should have used a finer needle. Well, I guess we just go for it. To turn out alright. It looks pretty okay. Down, one more to go. Mending is an ongoing process. I hope you've enjoyed this look at some of my past projects and have found some inspiration to get some mending done yourselves. See you next time. Hi hi!